Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thanks again for joining me here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Quick look again at Solana, double checking a few key factors, making sure we help understand this potential for Elliott wave here. Because again, as long as we can stay above our more recent high, we are going to be in good shape here for a bounce. Again, this pattern would be potentially invalidated or just shifted if that were to happen. So we'll pay attention to that as well. While this isn't a guarantee, there's a larger statistical probability that we could see this play out to the upside with one more leg up. All right. Again, that's just some awesome stuff there for Solana. And if you are new to the channel, if you could just hit the like button, comment below. If you want to become a better trader, CryptoCache.tech is a site. What I want to do here first before we get started is just kind of look at the back-end liquidation data for the last 7 days and kind of understand where we're at here. We can see tons of liquidation upwards of 151. That's just above the most recent high. Big surprise, but an immaculate amount of liquidation down at 135. Now, this is not the only reason to see the price action pull back, but I can tell you if the price does end up losing this 140 support level, again, that's more recent high there, likely to work as a new low. If we lose that level, I would say 135 is quite obviously going to be swept. There's just too much greed right there at that level. We got billions, a little bit over $1 billion in liquidation just at that 134 alone. Okay, and again, we talked about this previously. 134 is a pretty strong previous resistance level, likely going to work as a support. So if the price does pull back to that level, we should see a nice little bounce there. So it wouldn't be bad to consider a secondary entry there or a primary entry at that 134, 135 mark. Having said all that, we can see 152 as a pretty strong amount of liquidation to the upside here for the monthly. Okay, so again, we're starting to see a large accumulation of shorts, all the more reasons why that level could even be swept too. Okay, so we got to keep in mind, even though this looks heavy and massive on the left-hand side here, the amount of liquidation is much higher at the larger time frames. Okay, so again, all the more reason why the price action could continue further up. Again, anything could happen, right? At this point, Bitcoin does look like it's kind of weak, pulling back. Solana's correcting itself too. So we look at the combination here. You see how Bitcoin comes up and goes sideways, kind of gets range bound between 60,500 and 62. We can see Solana doing a lot. Okay, again, now there was like an ETF submission of some sort yesterday, Wyckoff. I forget the specifics, but I know that was a fundamental catalyst, right? So that does factor in here as to why the price action is pulling back. While Bitcoin is pulling back some, Solana is pulling back a lot more than it needs to, mainly because it's that pump and relative dump, right? It's just a lot of small limit orders that market makers move the price action down with, okay? So either way you look at it, we're looking for a solid closure at 140 or higher today. That's really an easy way to understand it. Let's quickly double check a few other factors though, just to make sure we're on the same page, because we want to ensure that we're not just naively taking a long or a short here. We can look at larger time frames. We do have that 20-day SMA. And again, the point of control here, 144. It's a common denominator. And as I mentioned previously, if you zoom out a little bit, you can see that this 144 as low as 130 is this impressive amount of volume above and below. Okay. So right now we're kind of traveling within that. So it's important for us to close at 140, 141 or higher so we can maintain that level of support. Okay. So it's we can stay where we're at right now at the end of today's trading day. I would say it might be safe to consider long, just again because we're honoring that Elliott wave as well as just that previous resistance turn support. Looking at the big picture here, we can see we're kind of getting rejected by 50 on the RSI. Again, we want to close above that soundly to be able to have any confidence in taking a long position. Again, this isn't definitive by any stretch. It's a daily. I prefer to see this on the smaller time frames, but the truth is we got a nice stochastic swing to the upside. MACD is converging. We're right there at 50 on the RSI. We're on the edge of greatness here, but we're just not quite confirmed, if that makes sense. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, we can kind of see here as well this little pullback putting us closer to 50 on the RSI, but MACD is divergent, stochastic swinging down. So it's probably best to wait. You generally don't want to buy into a divergence. It's always best to try to, get in when the price action shifts its momentum. And right now the momentum is quite definitively going down. All right, so again, the common rule of thumb is to trade in the direction that the price is heading, right? You want to, the trend is your friend. Right now the trend is moving down, so maybe don't consider a long position just yet. Even though I'd love to take a long here soon, I think it's best to wait a little bit longer, no pun intended there, and to see if we can close at 140 or higher. If we take a look at Ichimoku cloud, let's see kind of where we're at here. We're tentatively breaking below the cloud for the moment. This isn't like a deal breaker per se, but it's a start kind of letting us know that we've shifted momentum. First of all, lagging spans free and clear the price action, conversion lines below the baseline, and we're now officially below the cloud. So this is 3 out of 3 reasons to have secured profits on your long position by now. And if you hadn't secured profits by now, I don't know what you're doing. Honestly, that's not trading, really. That's just kind of holding on for dear life. We take a look here, Solana, we took 8% off in 9 hours this morning. That was a, if I'm not mistaken, that was a short. And then we got Ada, Cardano, Link, more Solana trades yesterday, 57 minutes, 7%. And then, of course, Ethereum, 20%, Caspa, 44%. And then previously to that, Bitcoin long at 30%. So our swing trades are taking long positions. Our day trades are taking some positions to the downside here, essentially securing profit. So it's an interesting game right now. But the whole point of what me showing you that is to verify that you can actually make money on Solana in either direction. Just depends on what kind of trader you are, right? Day trading is much different than swing trading, so make sure you understand the absolute difference there if you're part of my Premium Plus group. You got to wear 2 different hats. It can be very difficult for newer traders to do both at the same time. So maybe recommend choosing a side, picking a side, and sticking to it. But either way, when we look at this here from a swing trader's perspective, it doesn't make any sense to take a long just yet until we confirm a closure at 140 or higher today. That to me would validate this pattern. That would help me feel confident in taking a trade with confirmation instead of kind of going against it. If we do take a look here, we are tentatively holding above this ascending trend. Okay. So this is just a barely game right now, folks, and we're going to pay attention to this and kind of double check. So I'll go ahead and post this on our Twitter, Telegram, Discord, YouTube, TikTok, etc. It's all available for you if you're curious. Results are there too for our Premium Plus group if you want to know kind of what the averages are there. But help grow the channel if you could, obviously, and just comment below, like, subscribe, and follow if you haven't yet either. All right, folks. Thanks again so much for watching. Oh, very last little heads up. We do have limited slots available with our premium groups. First of the month, we will have more slots available, so just a heads up on that. I thank you so much again for your patience. We'll see you the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.